Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Great Scott! There's no crying in baseball!
You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
This is where the fun begins.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. That's right. We're ranking The Bad Guys 2. The Bad Guys 2 is a 2025 American animated crime comedy film. The sequel to The Bad Guys from 2022 and loosely based on the book series The Bad Guys by Aaron Blabey. In the film, the reformed bad guys are pulled out of retirement and forced into one last high-stakes heist when a new crew of criminals turns their fresh start upside down. I was kind of surprised looking at all of the feedback for this movie. I enjoyed the first movie. I actually watched it last year for the first time and was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, but man, I just did not like this movie that much. Let's get into why with the 10 essential aspects of a movie. First is plot. Does the movie follow a comprehensive story arc and is plausible within the world that has been created? Now, whenever I'm talking about a franchise or a sequel, I like to ask the question, did it make sense for this movie to be made? Did you actually have something to tell that made sense and warranted making a movie, or did you just want to capitalize off the success and make some money? And to me, I thought they were just capitalizing. I honestly found the plot of this movie to be very boring. It wasn't very compelling or interesting. I didn't like the story arc that was going on, and I just didn't think it was that motivating and made that much sense. I mean, the bad guys of this movie don't even show up to more, I think at least halfway through this movie. Though it just feels like a whole mess. And it's not that it was just so poorly done, but it just didn't feel necessary. It didn't feel like, wow, I needed this movie because it expands so much on these characters. In fact, I don't think it really expanded on them at all. I felt like by the end of the movie, they were the exact same people they were in the beginning of the movie in a lot of ways, where that can't be said for the first film. The first film actually did have an arc that made sense. This movie just didn't for me. I thought it was just kind of a lame story. There was a story that you could tell. I don't think that there was no reason to ever make a sequel to the first Bad Guys, but I just didn't think this story was the reason to do that. Second is attraction. Does the movie have an interesting premise with a high entertainment value? Not for me. And this movie was so bad that it made me question whether I actually liked the first movie or not. This movie felt more like an iPad kid kind of movie to me. It felt like really quick jokes and a lot of quick, fast things happening on screen, just trying to capture your attention, right? Like just keep that attention span sitting there looking at all these fast changing things. It didn't feel as well written and thought out. Maybe kids will enjoy it more than I enjoyed it because of that aspect, but I don't know if I would, I wouldn't let my kids watch this movie just because it's not interesting enough to me. I think there's better kids movies out there and ones that don't feel so in your face with kind of stupid jokes and so many flashy things going on. It almost seems like, I don't know, almost harmful for your kids, to watch such crazy things happening. So Dog Man was the same way. The first half of that movie was so crazy, but then it slowed down and got a lot better. This movie doesn't. It has moments where it slows down, but then goes right back to this fast-paced kind of craziness. And maybe the first movie was like that a lot more than I remember, but this movie, maybe it just came out more because the plot was so uninteresting to me. So as an adult, I did not like it. Would kids like it? Maybe, depending on what kind of kid they are. Third is theme. What message or truth is a movie trying to convey? I don't know. I guess maybe this idea of redemption being difficult, right? Like they kind of show in the beginning of the movie that they're the good guys now, but that doesn't mean life is good. Like they're struggling, they're having a hard time, their past is being stuck to them, and because they've changed, doesn't mean everyone is just instantly convinced that they're good people, which I think is a good lesson. I mean, sometimes it is hard to be the good guy, and it's easier to just be the bad guy. And so I feel like the arc of the movie was trying to show them continuously having to make the right decision, even though the easier decision was to be bad guys. And so they ultimately end up being good guys, and still it pays off in some way. Maybe that's the story. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing on that end because the beginning and the end didn't necessarily feel like they attached to me or made sense. This movie kind of seemed like it was just aimlessly going and didn't really have a true theme to talk about. Fourth is dialogue. Is there a real feel to the conversations? Of course, with it being a kids movie, I'm not looking for real feel. Of course, this is also it's trying to be a comedy for kids, and like I said, I remember the first one having moments that I thought were funny. I did not find anything funny with this movie. I did not think the jokes landed at all. I thought they were just very kid-like. Is that the end of the world? No, of course not. Maybe, they might have just not wanted adults to like it or care. They were just making it for kids, and that's fine. But as an adult, I can tell you that I did not find this movie funny at all. Fifth is acting. Are the characters convincing? The only person I'll point out is Sam Rockwell as the wolf. I just think that was a really good decision as far as casting. His voice matches the look of the wolf so well, and he's so charismatic. Like, I've seen him in other movies, and he just kind of plays himself, and he's just a really good fit for this kind of character. Everybody else is good. There's nobody that feels out of place in this movie. Of course, it's the second movie, so you're kind of used to everybody, but even in the first movie, I didn't think that anyone didn't make sense. The only one is maybe the main villain. At moments, I thought, I don't know if she would sound like that, but not really anything worth complaining about. Six is cinematography. Is there a creative use of lighting, setting, and wardrobe to convey emotion? The movie looks great. I will say, again, I probably should have watched the first one again to kind of compare. This one felt like it had so many cuts in it, and maybe it's because I was bored. I was noticing some of these things more, and I thought they were just worse. It might be the aesthetic, right? Like, they're trying to go for kind of a comic book style where you're kind of seeing scene, and it has all those cuts in a movie, but I didn't like it. I just thought it just wasn't that good. It didn't feel smooth, but everything looks great. All the action sequences feel big and are fun to look at. As far as emotion, none at all. I mean, I just didn't care about what was going on. I didn't think the arcs and the characters really went anywhere. I didn't feel like they actually learned anything or did anything interesting. So there's no moments that really compel you to feel emotional at all. Seventh is editing. This is all about the pace of the movie. The movie is 1 hour and 44 minutes long. I could not believe that. When this movie was over, I was like, wow, I can't believe they made that movie over 2 hours. And then I saw the runtime, and it was only 1 hour 44. This movie felt so long. It was so boring. I was so ready for it to be done. This movie felt like 2.5 hours. It's fine, I guess. 1 hour 44, I can't really complain. Again, with kids movies, I always prefer that you just hit 1 hour 30 or less, right? I mean, 1 hour 44, if you're really telling a good story, is fine if the movie is compelling and interesting, but I just didn't think this movie was compelling and interesting. So, of course, I will always want it to be shorter. Eighth is soundtrack. I did notice the soundtrack in this film, kind of for bad reasons on my part. I thought they kind of matched the tone fairly well. It's definitely modern, but to me, not necessarily modern in a good way. I don't think that there ever is anything said that I wouldn't want my kid to hear, but I'm pretty sure one of the songs was Cardi B, and I just don't know if I want my kids watching a movie that has Cardi B singing in it. She's just not exactly somebody I want them to explore and be like, oh, I like that song. I want to know who she is. If you don't care about that stuff, then it's fine. It's decent. For me, it's actually kind of a deterrent, but I get they were just trying to be modern, and it did fit kind of the theme or emotion they were trying to give in that scene. Ninth is directing. Now I feel the director's in charge of the previous 8 aspects. They're the ones that have to put it all together, give it their stamp of approval, and make a really good movie. Now the director of this movie is Pierre Perifel. He's French, so I'm sure I kind of butchered that last name. But this was his second movie that he has directed. The 2 films he's directed to this point are The Bad Guys and The Bad Guys 2. Like I said, I remember enjoying The Bad Guys, and I only watched it last year, so I feel like it probably is decent. I don't feel like I kind of, changed my mind in a year, but this movie definitely made me contemplate it. I definitely think this movie is a step down based on what I remember from the first one. I don't know that he necessarily elevated anything. In fact, I feel like it kind of took away because the story wasn't as good. So I would definitely have to watch another movie to really judge him. I think there's like the creative aspects, the art direction is really well done. There's some good aspects to this movie that I enjoyed. The casting was done well. So there's a couple things that he did well, but then now this kind of movie brings in some concerns. So I'd be interested to watch a third movie and kind of see what else he can do, especially something outside of The Bad Guys. 10th is Time. Will it stand the test of time? I definitely don't think so. I like a year late on releasing this video, and I'm sure most people have forgotten about it now anyways. So I don't think it'll stand the test of time. I don't even think it's as good as the first one. It'll definitely be forgotten about pretty quickly. Now for the review section. Rotten Tomatoes critics gives it an 87. The audience gives it a 94. And IMDb gives it a 70. Now I've been on a track recently where IMDb just has not made sense to me, but now I'm back on track where IMDb makes sense. I think 87, 94, I don't know what I was missing, and maybe I just wasn't in a good mood, but this movie's not that good. I didn't think it brought a lot, especially because it's not the first one. It really didn't elevate anything. Like, why would I watch this one when I could just watch the first one? This one doesn't bring enough for me to care. So I don't think it deserves to be that high. I'm much closer to 70. It's just an okay movie. I don't think it does anything great. I don't think it necessarily does anything terrible. It's just not that interesting. But I'm not gonna harp on it and say it's god awful. There's plenty of movies that are worse, but I don't know, to me it just was boring. Finally, for the rankings. For the year of 2025, on the entertainment side, out of 31 total movies, it is going to be 10th. Just below the Fantastic Four and above Final Destination Bloodlines. Really, it's this high because of the way I have entertainment structured, because people seemed to enjoy this movie, even though I didn't enjoy it as much. I have it below the Fantastic Four because I think that that is a movie that will balance kids and adults enjoying it better. I just think it's a little bit more of an entertaining movie than The Bad Guys 2 for me. I do think a general audience is going to enjoy it just like The Bad Guys 2, but I personally enjoy it a little bit more as well. I do have it above Final Destination Bloodlines. That to me is just a little bit more of a niche movie. Those that are going to like those kinds of movies are going to enjoy it, but I just think The Bad Guys 2 is probably going to appeal to a general audience better. Cinematically, out of 31 total movies, it is going to be 21st, just below Clown in a Cornfield and above Novocaine. It's below Clown in a Cornfield. Honestly, all three of these movies are kind of just nothing burgers. Like, they're just not good. They're not great. They're not bad. They just kind of exist. I think Clown in a Cornfield was a little bit better at its purpose for me. It was a comedy horror, and it has decent aspects of horror. And I thought the comedy was decent. I think The Bad Guys 2 is supposed to be a kid's comedy, but the comedy part is just not that good to me. I just didn't think it was written that well. I don't even know how much kids would enjoy it. Probably very young kids, but like definitely teenagers and stuff would not enjoy that movie. I don't think it's as well made. I do have it above Novocaine, and I think that's probably just for the fact that, again, they're both kind of nothing burgers. I wouldn't really care if you liked one more than the other. I do think The Bad Guys 2 is just a little more creative. It has more things that I can point at art-wise that I think is more entertaining or more valuable than what Novocaine brings, because it does like the body horror, but that's like about it. And I don't even think that is that well done. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but there's just nothing else to it. I think The Bad Guys 2 has better dialogue. Certain points, I do think it's written better in some aspects. For the decade of the 2020s, out of 71 total movies on the entertainment side, it is going to be 30th, just below the Fantastic Four and above Gran Turismo. I have it above Gran Turismo. Again, I think that it's a racing movie that non-racing fans can enjoy. I just don't think as many will. I do think The Bad Guys 2 is just kind of more appealing overall to a general audience. Cinematically, out of 71 total movies, it is going to be 51st, just below Clown in a Cornfield and above Novocaine. It's there for the exact same reason as before. All time, out of 88 total movies on the entertainment side, it is going to be 45th, just below the Fantastic Four and above Gran Turismo for the exact same reasons as before. Cinematically, out of 88 total movies, it is going to be 67th, just below Clown in a Cornfield and above Novocaine. It's there for the exact same reasons as before. That's all I've got for The Bad Guys 2. If you've gotten this far, thank you. Thank you for watching. I know this one was probably kind of not as entertaining, not as good, because I didn't have as much to say, because I just didn't really enjoy this movie that much. I was looking forward to it, but was honestly just disappointed. I think there's a lot better kids movies out there. If you did watch this and you enjoyed it, please tell me why. I really enjoy getting to hear all of your guys' opinions. That's the reason I started the channel, and just interact with people who also love movies. Please comment a movie down below that you want me to review, and I will review it and tag you in it so that you know when it gets done. Otherwise, I'm Mr. Majoritarian. Stay classy, San Diego.